Hello everybody and welcome back to Pravus Gaming and more Plague Inc. Evolved Custom Scenarios. What's on the agenda today? Let's see, we did Idea last time. Actually, this one's new. Alright, let's give it a shot. SCP-751, another SCP scenario, which are often quite good. So, let's see what we got today. SCP-751. Organ Eater? Agent, there has been a containment breach at Site C-751. A containment breach, like SCP Containment Breach the game? Which, have they even updated anytime recently? I don't know, that's actually how I found Markiplier. I thought it was a pretty engaging series, but the game's really old and very indie, and I don't know if it ever got released / developed any further, but it was kind of engaging, honestly, not gonna lie. A very dangerous parasite known to us as SCP-751 has escaped due to the unprofessional care of, let's just say, Dr. Wharfstash and his co-workers. One of our interns, Alexander Fredricks, has gone missing as well. We believe he is the one responsible for this breach. Organ transplants. Oh gosh, this is a bit long. Okay, too long. Don't think I will read. If I remember SCP-751 correctly, this is a weird gelatinous-looking thing that likes living in humid environments. It gets on top of a sleeping person's stomach. Through osmosis, it kind of, like, seeps its way into the body. It, like, devours the organs and then, like, replicates their functions for a while until it has a chance to devour everything, and then you're just dead. It's eaten all your organs. Or something like that. Can't remember for sure. But it's horrifying, like everything else SCP-related. Strangely macabre. Oh, a fungus type. Okay, kind of figured a parasite might have been appropriate, but alright. ATP boost, we just did this actually on Saturday. Let's just keep the same lineup. It's probably fine. Play on normal difficulty, SCP-751. Sending transmission. I have set it free. This is a fascinating organism and should not be kept in the captivity of this ridiculous organization. I will alter its genome to help it survive out there, and you can't stop me. Your colleague, Dr. Fredricks. How dare you, sir? Note to myself, those agents are after me. They will try to contain, cure, no 750... I think do you mean number 751? Why not just call it SCP-751? I live alone, and nobody knows about this laboratory, so those agents won't get a chance to arrest me, as it seems 751 doesn't die with its host, so there is potential for corpse transmission, or what is left of the corpse. You're not telling me that I absorbed 751, because that means I have like a month to live, right? Is that what you're telling me? We're gonna start off our chase in Saudi Arabia. Let's take a look at the transmission symptoms and abilities. Transmission, we start off with sleep tactics. SCP-751 only targets sleeping victims, making it less likely to be noticed. Reduces severity. Basic locomotion, SCP-751 is able to track down hosts outside of human environments more effectively. Increases effectiveness in arid regions. Sounds perfect for Saudi Arabia. Grab. Symptoms, we start off with burst. SCP-751 converts back to its original density, causing it to swell to a size the host body cannot contain. The skin will stretch and then burst, releasing SCP-751. So, it eats our organs, then it explodes outwards. Like, you know, Alien or something, chest burster kind of thing. But the whole body. Terrifying. Abilities. Engulfing 1. SCP-751 expands its own mass by digesting and replacing the host's stomach, maintaining digestive processes. Doing so can cause minor stomach-related symptoms. This sounds like it belongs in the symptoms tree, not the abilities, but alright, let's grab that. That opens up a few new things, holy cram. That's a lot of new things. So many new things. Alright, we have Engulfing 2. After the stomach, SCP-751 moves on to the liver, which will also be replaced and mimicked very closely, but not perfectly. Okay, actually we're slightly lethal from the beginning, that's kind of interesting. Cold resistance without freezing, increased metabolism. Evolves a gene to produce more advanced enzymes, allowing it to digest the organs much faster, so lethality and infectivity. False diagnosis 1. This is drug resistance, basically, and decreases severity, so that's interesting. Minor setbacks. I imagine this is the cure hardening, genetic hardening? Probably. It's one of those cure delaying things. Just bit my tongue. Ow. That hurts. Alright, symptoms. Slight nausea. The host experiences a slight distortion in the stomach while it is being consumed. Rash. The skin becomes irritated on the spot where SCP entered the body. These both seem pretty good. Grab. Salty vomiting. Salty. SCP-751 biggest weakness is still anything saline. SCP-751 ejects any food that contains too much salt. Well, that's interesting. Okay. Wasn't aware of that. And then we have a lot of transmission options, including increased locomotion for arid regions, sanitation for, apparently, sewer pipes, so urban transmission, seasick for water transmission, animals, urban and rural effectiveness, pretty good. Diffusion speed 1, becomes able to phase through the host's skin faster, increasing infectivity. It's pretty good for 4 points, honestly. Increased diffusion speed 3. Now, why do we have access to this before? This is a bug. Can't imagine you're supposed to have 3 before you have 1, and for cheaper. Grab. I mean, if it's a bug, I don't mind exploiting it, it's fine. Sleep Tactics 2. SCP-751 becomes able to sense melatonin levels in the air and waits with crawling out until the target is fully asleep. Decrease severity, increase infectivity. Probably should go that. It definitely seems... Oh, why does it say we mutated it? We didn't mutate it. That's bizarre. Yeah, it definitely seems like we're supposed to go under the radar in this particular scenario. Lots of different ways to reduce the severity, so let's just go ahead and grab Sleep Tactics 2. Why not? It's probably okay. We're spread rather rapidly in Saudi Arabia, I would imagine. Shouldn't be too hard for us. I kind of would like to go for increased locomotion for the extra air transmission. It's only 1 extra point. There we go. Done. Grab. Thank you. What's this? Optimized locomotion. Even more arid region stuff. Let's go for the animals. Urban and rural effectiveness sounds pretty darn good to me. Oh, good. We got into East Africa. 14 points. What should we spend it on? Oh, that's weird. I think it said that we mutated increased diffusion speed 3, but we mutated salty vomiting. So I'm not especially sure how that one works. But okay, what's this? Avian Carrier 1. One SCP-751 entity divides itself into 5 and finds some birds from the same flock to travel to an unknown country. Burst and reform. Good, if I miss out on Greenland, then I'll use it. That'd be great. Do we want cold resistance? Do I want to go for engulfing? No, that'll just unlock some new stuff, and I haven't got everything yet. Let's go for increased diffusion speed 1. Faster, method more noticeable afterwards. I need to be careful about that one. Wait, so was this not a random... Oh, interesting. Okay, I didn't read. I should have read. I got so distracted by the 3 thing. A random symptom will mutate. Probably could have taken advantage of that later and gotten something a bit more expensive. What if I devolve it? If I devolve it, can I get the effect again? Probably not. Let's try it. I don't think it'll work, but we'll give it a shot. Animals 2. Let's go for Seasick level 1. It'll be okay. So I guess let's go for sanitation. I'm just trying to get a bit of diversity. I don't think that getting diffusion thing again is going to get me another free symptom. I just can't imagine that happening. I'm actually not even sure if it's possible. But you never know. Might be an oversight by the developer, and if so, I'd like to break it and let him know that it needs to be fixed. Let's see, do we want to go for more animals? Do we want to go for seasick? I think we'll go for seasick, and let's go for optimized locomotion. That leads to carbon dioxide detection. They can't hide if they have to breathe. SCP-751 becomes able to sense the CO2 exhaled by mammals. Well, that's fine. I can hold my breath for 15 minutes like Guybrush Threepwood. I wish I could do that, but I cannot. It's fairly effective. I think I'd much rather go for... Ah, gosh, I don't even know. Let's go for the increased diffusion speed level 2. Let's go ahead and grab a new, actually, let's grab some drug resistance. Yeah, false diagnosis level 1 and 2. Very cheap with the pathostasis, actually. Very, very cheap. Wow, okay. Cold resistance, and also engulfing 2. That leads to... Nothing new there, but we do have bile shortage. Although SCP-751 can replace almost every tissue type, it remains unable to produce bile after consuming the liver, causing nausea after a fat meal. Bile, of course, being the fluid that is produced by the liver that allows us to break down the fats that we consume. Otherwise, you're gonna have a bad time. It's a little bit severe. Honestly, it probably would be better off just going for something like, I don't know, let's say animals level 2. Be fine. Yeah, I think so. Doop, 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 doop. How are we looking as far as our spread? Pretty reasonable thus far. I'm not too worried about it. Well, I guess we could go for... I mean, that's a little bit of lethality. I'm not sure if I care that much about it. Let's go for some more cold resistance. Let's go for engulfing 3. That unlocks genetic instability. That appears to be a genetic reshuffle. This causes an increase in mutation exchange for more DNA from red bubbles. So we get more mutation, but we get more DNA. Is that what it's telling me? Hang on, let's make sure I read this properly before people yell at me, because, you know, you can never be wrong on the internet. The blood of SCP-751 absorbs more of the host's traits. This causes an increase in mutation in exchange for more DNA from red bubbles. I'm gonna grab it. At least a genetic instability 2 DNA from orange bubbles. I think this is making it harder to, easier to cure? No, this is just good across the board. Why not get it? Blue cure bubbles, fine. I mean, I'll invest in that early, sure, why not? Tons of extra DNA? Heck yeah. I'm gonna experience everything in this scenario, all right. Well, we have the bile shortage, we also have the renal spillage. Consumes the kidney and bladder. Some blood and immunosuppressant substances are linked into the urine. We'll just call it a glorified UTI or something. Bile shortage, renal spillage, it's fine. Let's get some severity. Let's kind of ramp up the difficulty here a little bit. I think we do need to go for engulfing 4. That unlocks deep breath. Upon lung replacement, the hosts will notice they are not in control of their own breathing patterns, causing concern, and more people go to the doctor, you don't say. Let's grab increased diffusion speed. Does it give me a freebie? No, that would have been too much to hope for. Okay, well, you know, we try things, and sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. First, findings. It will only be a matter of time until they send agents to pull them out of their habitat. We have some nasty potential which we could try and exploit. For now, number 751 is engulfing a few people, and next month they will release more entities. By a few people, you mean like 500,000? Like 500,000 dead people? And it's engulfing millions more? Second findings. This is unexpected. It is much more aggressive than I've seen back in the lab. Hasn't mutated without me knowing. Perhaps mimicking organs comes with a cost. This is, without doubt, very interesting. I can't wait to get to know the species better. This scientist is an idiot. Way too optimistic. Way too freaking optimistic, man. I'm telling you. He's like the dumb blonde teenager in a horror movie. He deserves to die. Let's be honest. Missing the Greenland and the Baltic states. Secret organization among us for years. My name is Agent Fox. I've been working for a global secret organization. We as SPC, you mean SCP agents, only care about one thing, protecting civilians against SCPs. One of those odd things is broken free and will eat a person from the inside out. Stay focused. Yes, sir, Mr. Weird, crazy government agent man. Secret agent man. Let's go for the avian carrier. That should unlock Greenland, yes? Where's Greenland? Thank you. Okay, that's all I wanted to see. Let's go for engulfing 5, 6, and 7. There, we've unlocked everything that we care about. Thank you. Do I care about more transmission? Not really. Let's just focus on symptoms from here on out. We have light diarrhea. The intestines do not have proper bacteria to aid digestion. You know, I think a lot of people overlook that fact. You do require a very healthy amount of bacteria in your intestines to help digest your poop. It's kind of a necessity. Severe insomnia. Wants its host as weak as possible and keeps them awake. That's weird because the SCP usually prefers to keep people asleep, but alright. Let's be productive. This includes, okay, so reducing the cure progress is good. Grab. Profuse bleeding. Aggressive consumption by the SCP of tissue under the host skin causes bleeding from the nasal cavity and eyes in a tear-like fashion. I think we have necrosis, right? So lethality is not a bad thing for me at this point. Brains! When the time comes, SCP-751 will even consume a chunk of the host's brain. The host will either lose consciousness or drop dead, making the SCP harder to contain. Makes sense, grab. Palpitations. After the host's heart has been consumed and replaced, the cycle is almost at an end, and the new heart rate will rise to approximately 210 beats per minute. Holy cram! No wonder they're dying. Ultimate organ failure. Stops mimicking the host's organs after a while and consumes the dead body. The host's vitals flatline, causing rapid death. Grab. Muscle takeover. Doesn't seem to do much. Severe. Symbiosis. Why should it kill off... So this is a way to have a everyone survives kind of scenario, it looks like. So it basically just replaces their body and becomes the ultimate parasite, all of our organs in this kind of weird symbiotic state. Nah, I think I'd rather everyone be dead. Annihilation genes. All SCP-751 entities absorb characteristic genes from their hosts and become able to share them with their own kind. The result is an evolution for their species. And lastly, original survival tactics. They stick to their original survival method, devouring their prey from the inside out. Now let's make them evolve, it'll be fine. Third findings. What is wrong with me? I feared for this when it disappeared from the glass box in this lab. I can feel it gnawing at my organs ever so slightly as it devours my brain. Just a little nibble on the back of the brain. Who would have thought that humanity could probably end as a big snack for an anomaly like 751? Well, probably anybody else who was paying attention would have known, but you're a big dummy and let it out because you're like, oh my gosh, it's so fun, it's so fascinating, let's watch it. Let's watch it devour humanity, you idiot! You've doomed us all. All right, well, we're hitting maximum infectivity there. So grab the annihilation gene. We'll also grab metabolism 1, 2, and 3 for fun. Let's go ahead and reduce some of the cure progress. Avian carrier 3 again. Unknown country. Don't care. Is there gonna be like a conflicting ending if I go for multiple? Now let's just leave it as it is. It's probably fine. We'll also grab animal 3 because why not? I got plenty of DNA. Aggressive type of the organ eaters. This is a gross picture. There have been multiple reports of victims being eaten alive, but what looks like massive fleshy slugs. They seem to be aggressive and can strip a person from their flesh whilst they are still alive. Yes, they can, you fool. And now the whole world is going to die at a remarkable freaking rate. Oh, come on! Lathland, why? Dr. Lathrix has an idea of how SCP-751 works after examining live entities. To be sure, he needs to research bodies of the victim. He asks the Foundation to provide them. It will take at least 5 days. The world will be done in 5 days. Just telling you right now. Well, okay, it's been more than 5 days. Annihilation ending! Chief, this is Agent Fox. We located the dismembered remains of what we assume was Fredricks. I wish things could have gone differently. Our knowledge of 751 was not enough. I think it's coming to get me. It has been an honor. Fox signing off. There's no one to talk to. There are 13 people left in the entire world. And now there are none. Alright, well, SCP-751 has devoured all life on Earth 3 stars. Less than a year, 4% cure progress. I call that pretty good. Yeah, that's a pretty nice scenario. Not only was it very customized, and maybe a little bit easy, but otherwise pretty well balanced. I mean, I had tons of DNA by the end of it. But it told a story as it went. I mean, kind of a silly story. Fredricks is an absolute freaking moron, and he deserves what he gets, just, you know, the other 7 billion people don't, but whatever, that's either way. I appreciate that. Lots of customization, lots of reworks, balancing, images, text, and a story. What more can you possibly ask for? Of course it's a good scenario. I would recommend it to anybody who would watch. Thank you all very much for watching. I do hope you enjoyed this video. If so, then be sure to hit that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe, and I, as always, will see you guys next time.